This podcast is sponsored by Science Based Learning. Discover effective language acquisition with their unique system combining ebooks, audiobooks, and videos with an online practice app using spaced repetition to boost retention. Visit sciencebasedlearning.com today.
Spanish language history in Latin America. What you should know before you learn Spanish. Discover the history of Spanish in Latin America and how it shapes the language today. Perfect for those starting a Spanish language course or beginner Spanish lessons. The fascinating journey of the Spanish language in Latin America. Hey there. So, have you ever wondered how Spanish became such a big deal across Latin America? It's pretty wild when you think about it. A language that started way over in Spain, on the other side of the Atlantic, somehow transforming the whole cultural and linguistic landscape of an entire continent. Today I want to share with you a bit about the history of the Spanish language in Latin America. It's a story full of adventure, conflict, and culture that shaped the way millions communicate today. Let's roll back to the late 15th century, around 1492, when Christopher Columbus set sail under the Spanish crown. This moment kicked off what would later be known as the Spanish colonization of the Americas. The Spanish Empire was huge, and its influence stretched well beyond just military conquest. Along with settlers, missionaries, and administrators came the Spanish language, which quickly started spreading across what is now Latin America. Now, here's something really interesting. Spanish didn't just take over on its own. It mixed with a bunch of indigenous languages and even African languages brought over through the transatlantic slave trade. So, in places like Mexico, Peru, Colombia, and the Caribbean, you'll notice Spanish has been flavored by those native tongues, which gave rise to unique accents, words, and expressions. So much so that the Spanish spoken in these countries varies quite a bit from the Castilian spoken in Spain. This rich blend is also why when you decide to learn Spanish, you might find different regional phrases or pronunciations. If you're just starting and looking for a good Spanish language course, it helps to know where you want to use your Spanish the most. Because beginner Spanish lessons geared towards Mexican Spanish might feel a bit different from those focusing on Argentinian Spanish. Now, why is this history relevant today? For one, Spanish is the second most spoken native language in the world, and about 400 million people in Latin America speak it as their mother tongue. So whether you're traveling, working, or connecting with people from Latin America, having some basic Spanish phrases can really open doors. It's also a beautiful example of how language evolves through contact, adaptation, and history. And here's a neat tip. If you're interested in Spanish for beginners or want to improve your skills quickly, embracing this cultural context can make your learning experience a lot more engaging and meaningful. Before we wrap up, I want to mention something that can really boost your language journey: science-based learning. This platform offers smart approaches to language acquisition that go beyond rote memorization. By understanding how your brain works with new languages, you can make faster progress with less frustration. Whether you're tackling beginner Spanish lessons or looking to sharpen your conversation skills, this method is definitely worth checking out. So if you're ready to get started or take your Spanish skills to the next level, don't wait. Start your language journey now. Discover the joy of speaking Spanish with confidence and a deeper appreciation of its incredible history in Latin America. Thanks for hanging out and chatting about the journey of Spanish across a whole continent. It's amazing to see how language connects so many people and stories. Catch you next time with more fascinating insights.